On a complimentary slash, I guess, positive note, one of the ladies at the final, well, the only lady at the final table, complimented me and said, "I knew I would make it. I knew you would make it to the final table." What's up, guys? It's me, Tony G, coming to you from Harrah's Resort and Casino. This is episode 58 and possibly 59 of my vlog. In this episode, decided to impromptu visit to Atlantic City, play a tournament or two maybe, and maybe get into some cash. I hope you guys enjoy it. Here we go. Before we get into the episode, I want to say if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Please make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons, hit the bell notification so you get notified of all my vlogs. And for the returning subscribers, appreciate the support. Let me know how you like the episode in the comments down below. Impromptu Atlantic City trip? Sure, why not? Let's go. Our home for the evening, Harrah's Resort and Casino. All right, made it over to Caesars and Bally's. Got to grab a bite to eat. Got to be honest though, just walking in here, I started to get the D-Gen tingles, as Ryan DePaulo would say. Can't wait to get into some poker. Okay, in this hand I have the 10 of diamonds, the 10 of hearts in middle position, and I believe blinds are 200, 400 right now. The gentleman to my right raises to 1500, so I decide to go ahead and flat call the 1500. There are a couple guys who fold, and I'm only flat calling here, by the way, because I'm out of position at this point. The dealer has to give some change to some people, and we wind up going, I think, 3 or 4 ways to the flop, and flop comes out the Jack of Hearts, the 8 of Spades, and the King of Clubs. It checks to the guy to my right again. He bets 2600, and again, with just an overpair, and not connecting anything with the board, I look at my cards and I decide to go ahead and just flat call the 2600. The other two gentlemen to my left fold, and now I believe we are heads up to the turn, and the turn is the 9 of diamonds. I decide to go ahead and bet 2500 with the straight draw at this point. Before I even can say 2500, he's already put his chips in front of him, and now the river is the lovely lady Queen of Diamonds. I hit the straight on the river. I decide to bet 5,000. He calls, flips over King Jack for 2 pair, and I say I got the straight, and he said I'm good. Okay, the next level, which is the last level before first break, I have the King of Hearts, the King of Spades in the small blind. Blinds are now 300, 600, and It limps all the way around to me in the small blind. I decide to bet 2,400. There are a couple folds, and the lady in the corner, which is in middle position, has been betting big all night. So we do wind up getting into a good one here. We are 3 ways to the flop at this point, and the flop comes out the Queen of Spades, the Jack of Hearts, and the 10 of Hearts. I don't connect with anything on the board, obviously. The lady in middle position bets 5,000. The guy to my right decides to call with ultimately what he had was a pair on the board. And after looking at my cards, I decide to go ahead and call the 5,000. And we are still 3 ways to the turn. And the turn is the 8 of diamonds. The lady looks at the board and asks for a suit or some sort, and then decides to go ahead and bet 11,000, which I thought was kind of high, so I knew she had at least a pair, maybe 2 pair. The guy to my right folds. I go ahead and call the 11,000, and we now heads up to the river. And the river doesn't help me out at all. The river is a 6 of spades. I decide to go ahead and continue bet another 11,000, and she looks at me and goes, "You really have something?" and tanks for a long time, a good 30-45 seconds. People get up to go on break because it's the last hand before break. She said, "Will I show?" I said, "Yeah, I'll show you." So she actually folds her cards up with 2 pair queen jacks, and I win this pot and do honor and flip my cards over and show her the pair of kings, and we take down a large pot before break. Break number 1 just hit a huge bluff. We're doing pretty good. We got about, I'd have to say, 55 or 60,000. Coming back to, I think, 500, 1,000 blinds. There are no antes in this game. I don't know why they haven't adopted antes yet, but let's go cash or friggin' bink this thing. After being card dead for a while, it's a couple levels later. Blinds are 600, 1,200, and I have the 2 of hearts, the 8 of diamonds, and I am in the big blind. It does limp around to me, and I do decide to check my option with absolute crap for cards. And I believe there's 4 ways to the flop. The flop comes out the 2 of diamonds, the 8 of spades, and the Jack of hearts. Can't believe I hit 2 pair on the flop. I decide to go ahead and bet 1,200. 2 people fold. The guy to my right, which is the small blind, calls and checks in the dark. The turn is the 6 of clubs. I decide to go ahead and bet 2,400. He again calls the 2,400 and also again checks in the dark. The river now is the 10 of diamonds. He decides to go ahead and check it to me. And just to be safe, and I don't know why I did check, but I did check also. And I say I have 2 pair. We flip them over, and I win that hand on a 2-8 jack board with 2-8 in my hands. Okay, in the last hand before the next break, I have the ace of spades, the queen of diamonds in middle position. Blinds now at this level are 1,000, 2,000, and a couple people limp around. and it does get to me, and I decide to bet 6,000. The 3 other people that limped decide to go ahead and get in, and we're 4 ways to the flop, which is the Jack of Hearts, the 10 of Diamonds, and the 8 of Diamonds. It checks to the turn, and I do connect on the turn. Turn is the Queen of Hearts. I decide to go ahead and down bet at this point, and I down bet to 2,000. Everybody that was in on the flop and checked to the turn is still in, and a couple of guys are going back and forth about some goofy stuff at the last hand. But ultimately, like I said, everybody was in, and we are now 4 ways to the river. The river doesn't help me out any. The river is the 4 of spades. At this point, everybody winds up checking, and obviously because I connected with nothing on the river, I didn't bet. I say I got a pair of queens, flip them over, and believe it or not, it's good. So I win that one with a pair of queens just before break. Number 2, as you just saw, I just won a monster hand with ace queen, and I hit the queen on the turn, and pair of queens wins. The only other notable hand in the last couple levels, I had queen jack on a king ace board, something like that, and I bluffed my way into a small or decent sized pot. But hey, looks like we're doing good right now. Let's keep it going and cash in this thing. All right, break number 3. I don't know, it's been a long night. Doing okay. I think the average stack's like 160-ish, 170. I got about 220. So I'm not doing too bad. There's about 21 players left at this point. Had a couple decent hands, got a good bluff in there during that last couple levels. So we're gonna keep grinding. Hopefully we can get in the cash or pay in the top 9. Let's go.